Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus urges the young people to make up their mind and dream to bring positive change in the country. Constitution Reform Commission will begin dialogues with the stakeholders next week, says head of the commission. Month-long special services begin in income tax offices. 15 lakh taxpayers will submit returns online this year, heads NBR. Karnafuli Tunnel incurs loss of hundreds of crores of taka instead of making profits in the first year, as massive embezzlement reported in the mega project, say authorities concerned. 7 swing states to determine US presidency in the upcoming election, with Kamala leading in Trump's strongholds, reveals public opinion polls. And New Zealand whitewash India, beating the host by 25 runs in the third and final test in Mumbai. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV and BTV World. I am Imtiaz al-Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the detailed stories. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has urged the young people to make up their mind and dream to bring a positive change in the country. The Chief Advisor made the call when the officers of the National Defence Corps and the Armed Forces War Corps met him at his office today as part of the Corps curriculum. Commandant of National Defence College, Lieutenant General Mohammad Shaheen Ulhaq, was present during the meeting. 95 officers, including 33 foreigners, are participating in the National Defence Corps and 55 officers in the Armed Forces War Corps. The Chief Advisor greeted the members of NDC and AFWC Corps and wished them success. Professor Yunus said that every government in the world has a defence ministry. Literally, it is war ministry, but there is no peace ministry. If your aim is peace, should you not have a peace ministry? He questioned.
As a preparation for build peace. If your aim is peace, shouldn't you have a peace ministry? But instead, you have the war ministry. And you give everything to make it strong. Because your future, your country, your people need to protect themselves against attack. I said, okay, you don't have it. I don't want to say that you don't have war ministry. Have both ministries, a peace ministry and a war ministry, if that's what will make you happy. I would rather feel there should be only peace ministry, no war ministry. So all dedication is on peace, not on war. This is a question for all of us. When you go to war, it's a specific time, it begins at a specific time, it ends. But the war that we are having against the planet is a continuous process. We keep on destroying this planet. We have created a wrong civilization, self-destructive civilization. Things we do every day, every moment is destroying this planet. So I tell the young people, don't listen to old people. They created the wrong world. You create the right world. So that this planet survives, thrives, and be a happy world. And you can make this generation of young people is the most powerful generation of young people ever born on this planet. If you dream, it will happen. If you don't dream, it will never happen. Bangladesh stands as a testament to the potential of a nation committed to peace, prosperity and progress. In an era marked by unprecedented challenges and opportunities, it is crucial to acknowledge that the world is even more complex and interconnected. I would like to request you to continue your quest for knowledge. I am confident that through your leadership, you will provide fresh impetus to our quest for development.
Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has sought Indonesia's support for Bangladesh's membership in ASEAN and also urged the Southeast Asian country to create more opportunities for Bangladeshi business. The Chief Advisor made the call when the Indonesian ambassador to Bangladesh, Heru Hartanto Sabolo, paid him a farewell visit at his office in Dhaka today. The Chief Advisor told the ambassador that he hoped that Indonesia will help Bangladesh get the membership of ASEAN. This is very important for us, he added. The Chief Advisor told the ambassador that he also discussed the issue with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim during the latter's recent visit to Bangladesh, as the country is set to assume the chair of ASEAN in January. Ambassador Sabolo conveyed his country's support for Bangladesh's interim government and said that Indonesia would closely follow Bangladesh's application to become an ASEAN member. The Chief Advisor also urged Indonesia to enroll more Bangladeshi students in their universities, hire more Bangladeshi doctors, and import pharmaceutical items from Bangladesh. Ambassador Sabolo promised to work on increasing business cooperation between Bangladesh and Indonesia. The Chief Advisor congratulated new Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto on his assuming of office and invited him to visit Bangladesh at a convenient time. Non-resident Ambassador of Finland to Bangladesh, Kimmo Ladevirta, called on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus at his office in Dhaka today. The meeting discussed about the student-led mass resolution, the interim government's reform initiatives, trade, investment, and regional geopolitical issues. The ambassador expressed his government's full support to the Professor Yunus-led interim government and desire to contribute to the country's reforms. Ambassador Ladevirta said that the Finnish government would grant €1 million for the Rohingyas in Bangladesh. Professor Yunus spoke about the student revolution and the work of the reform commissions and people's aspirations from his government. He said reserves are growing and the government has started making international payments without digging into the foreign currency reserves. Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary Azad Mojumdar briefed reporters at the Foreign Service Academy this evening. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam and Deputy Press Secretary Apurva Jahangir were present. Azad Mojumdar said Finland wants to increase investment more in Bangladesh and assured of extending support to the country's reforms. Replying to a question about bringing back the siphoned money, Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said the government is working with utmost importance to bring back the siphoned money. Constitutional Reforms Commission will start holding discussion with the stakeholders from next week. Chief of the Constitutional Reforms Commission, Professor Dr. Ali Riaz, made the disclosure at a press conference at LD Hall of the Parliament. He informed that the Reform Commission will not include people, organizations and institutions which were involved with the killing directly in the July-August student people of Surge. Secretaries and senior secretaries of the government could not work independently as the administration was kept hostage for long during Awami regime. Secretaries and senior secretaries informed this at a meeting with the White Paper Formulation Committee at NEC Conference Room at Sherebangla Nagar in the capital today. Briefing newsmen after the meeting, Dr. Debapriya Bhattacharya, Chief of the White Paper Formation Committee, said that looting process was on in the name of development for the last 15 years. The month-long special services have started in tax offices today. The interim government is hopeful that as many as 15 lakh taxpayers will submit tax returns online this year. NBR is encouraging submission of returns online from home. Online submission of returns for government employees was made compulsory in Dhaka North and South, Ghazipur and Naranganj city corporations. The National Board of Revenue (NBR) has decided not to organize income tax fair this year too, like that of previous years since 2020 following the coronavirus pandemic. A month-long comprehensive tax service delivery program has begun across the country, aiming to foster a tax culture, increase tax awareness and gain the trust and confidence of respected taxpayers. The chairman of the National Board of Revenue NBR, Mohammad Abdul Rahman Khan, said this at a press conference marking Income Tax Information Service Month 2024 at Rajarsho Bhavan in Dhaka today. The NBR chairman said it is now mandatory for all government officials and employees under Dhaka North and South, Narayanganj and Ghazipur city corporations, officials and employees of all scheduled banks, mobile phone operators and some multinational companies to submit tax returns online. Abdul Rahman Khan also said all the taxpayers of the country are being encouraged to submit e-return and pay their income tax online. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has urged the government to create a congenial environment for elections soon. He made the call at a discussion marking the 5th death anniversary of Sadiq Hussain Khoka, freedom fighter and former mayor of undivided Dhaka City Corporation in the capital today. Among others, BNP Standing Committee member Mirza Abbas, members of Chairperson's Advisory Council Abdul Salam and Abdul Halim, and party's International Affairs Committee member Ishraq Hussain were present. Presided over by BNP leader Rafiqul Alam Mojnu, the meeting was also attended by central and city unit leaders. Addressing the meeting organized by BNP South City Unit, Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir called upon the party leaders and workers to refrain from any activities that may tarnish the image of the party. He also urged the partymen to work unitedly to make BNP stronger. And now, international news. American voters are set to elect their next president on November 5, with early voting numbers already breaking reports nationwide and opinion polls predicting a cliffhanger. A few 100,000 voters in a handful of critical swing states may ultimately determine who will become the 47th president of the United States. Much like in 2020, this election will likely hinge on the same 7 swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, all of which narrowly lean towards President Joe Biden in 2020, and North Carolina, where former President Donald Trump won by a slim margin 4 years ago. Each of these critical states, both campaigns are therefore focusing heavily on these battlegrounds, especially targeting independent and undecided voters who could tip the scales in favor of either candidate. Given the relatively small voter margins needed to sway the outcome, each state has attracted multiple visits from Harris and Trump, along with extensive ad campaigns aimed at winning over persuadable voters. However, there is a major caveat. While a significant number of Americans identify as independent, many have a consistent lean toward either the Democratic or Republican Party. A Pew Research Center poll in April 2024 found that among registered voters, 49% are Democrats or lean Democratic, while 48% are Republicans or lean Republican. Israeli attacks have killed 50 children in Gaza within 48 hours. UNICEF urged to stop killing the children during the vaccination drive. The killings came amid UN concerns that Israeli attacks and access constraints could make the polio vaccination campaign impossible to reach some areas. The United Nations Agency for Children, UNICEF, reported that the vaccination campaign against the virus, which can paralyze or even kill children, resumed in northern Gaza. The first phase began in September and reached more than 560,000 children aged over 1 day old and under 10. The UN agency said 216 teams are now working across 106 fixed sites to offer the vaccine. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed retaliation for attacks on Iran by Israel and its US ally. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned Iran's response would cover attacks on both the Islamic Republic and its allies. The enemies, both the USA and the Zionist regime, should know that they will definitely receive a tooth-breaking response, Khamenei said on Saturday, referring to Iran-aligned groups including those in Yemen and Syria. On October 26, Israel bombed military sites in Iran, killing 4 servicemen in response to an October 1 barrage of about 200 missiles that Tehran called a reprisal. Israel has warned Iran against responding to the October 26 attack. Meanwhile, American B-52 bombers have arrived in the Middle East, the U.S. military said Saturday, a day after Washington announced their deployment in a warning to Iran. The United States announced that it was sending the bombers, fighter and tanker aircraft and ballistic missile defense destroyers to the Middle East. South Korea, Japan and the United States today conducted a joint air drill involving a nuclear-capable bomber in response to North Korea's latest long-range missile test. The exercise took place 3 days after Pyongyang launched one of its most powerful and advanced solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile ICBM, which experts say could reach targets in the mainland U.S. The drill mobilized the U.S. B-1B nuclear bomber, South Korea's F-15K and KF-16 fighter jets, and Japan's F-2 jets, Seoul's military said. It was the fourth time this year the nuclear bomber was deployed to the Korean peninsula, the military said, and the second time for a trilateral aerial exercise to counter Pyongyang's military threats. No immediate reaction came from the North Korea or China so far. China has been releasing a slew of measures to bolster its sagging population levels, recorded a drop in marriage registrations for the first 9 months of 2024, according to official data from the Ministry of Civil Affairs of the country. For the first 3 quarters of the year, 4.747 billion couples were registered nationwide, the data showed. That is a year-on-year decrease of 943,000, a Reuters calculation of the data showed. The government released the latest data on Friday. In 2023, 5.69 million marriage registrations were recorded for the first 9 months, an increase from 2022. Growing economic uncertainty and rising living costs across the country have forced many young couples to delay marriage, a troubling sign for lawmakers who have been pushing policies to boost a shrinking population. China recently revised a draft law that makes it simpler for couples to register marriages, while filing for divorce will become tougher. For the first time, quarters of 2024, 1.967 million divorces were registered, a slight drop of 6,000 year-over-year, according to the data. Earlier this year, China reported the second annual drop in nationwide births, pushing the government to enact projects and initiatives in major cities to spur young Chinese to create a new era of marriage and childbearing culture to foster a friendly childbearing environment. Getting married and having children has been a heated subject among young Chinese and spawned major discussions and trending threads on social media. Many young Chinese are opting to stay single or delay getting married due to poor job prospects and worries about the future as growth in the world's second-largest economy slows. The country's first tunnel under the Karnataka River in Chattogram has been open to traffic for a year. Although this tunnel has completed a year of operation, the income or revenue is still not promising. Even the daily expenditure is 3 times higher than the maintenance cost of the tunnel. The 3.32-kilometer long Karnataka Tunnel was inaugurated on 28th of October last year. Since the opening of the Karnataka Tunnel, 37 crore 40 lakh taka were earned from 14 lakh 12,000 vehicles. On the other hand, the government has spent 136 crore 72 lakh taka for its operation. In November 2015, the Executive Committee of the National Economic Council approved 8,446 crore 64 lakh taka for the tunnel. Later, its cost increased to around 11,000 crore taka. Currently, instead of profit, hundreds of millions of taka are being lost in this tunnel. Concerned people described to it as a massive looting project. The fascist Awami League government built the Karnataka Tunnel through a fabricated survey without considering experts and public opinion. In the first year, where 18,500 cars were supposed to travel through the tunnel every day, currently less than 4,000 cars are running through this tunnel. Experts predicted that even in the upcoming 10 years, the dismal image of tunnel traffic would not likely to improve. The civic society said 10 bridges could have been built with the money spent in the tunnel construction. They added that this massive tunnel was built in order to embezzle public funds. The ban on catching all kinds of fish, including hilsa, to be withdrawn from tonight after 22 days. So fishermen are taking preparations to go for fishing. On October 13, the government imposed ban on catching fish in the sea, rivers and 6 sanctuaries to ensure smooth breeding of hilsa till November 3rd. And now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. And now sports news. New Zealand beat India by 25 runs in the third and last test to clean sweep the series by 3-0 at Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai today. Chasing 147 runs for victory, India were all out for 121 on day 3. Ajaz Patel took 6 wickets while Glenn Phillips bagged 3 of the 2 wickets. India has scored 263 runs in their first innings. New Zealand scored 235 in the first innings and 174 runs in the second innings. This is the first time in the history of Test cricket that India got whitewashed in a 3-match series at their home. The last time India were blanked at home was in 2000 in a 2-match series against South Africa. Ajaz Patel was adjudged man of the match for taking 11 wickets. Will Young was adjudged player of the series for scoring 244 runs. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus urges the young people to make up their mind and dream to bring positive change in the country. Constitution Reform Commission will begin dialogues with the stakeholders next week, says head of the commission. Month-long special services begin in income tax offices. 15 lakh taxpayers will submit returns online this year, hopes NBR. Karnafuli Tunnel incurs losses of 100 crore taka instead of making profits in the first year as massive embezzlement reported in the mega project, says authorities concerned. 7 swing states to determine US presidency. The upcoming election with Kamala leading in Trump's strongholds, reveals public opinion polls. And New Zealand whitewash India, beating the hosts by 25 runs in the third and final test in Mumbai. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then,